Try it again. Good morning, church. I'm glad to be back with you this morning, and I bring greetings from Guatemala. Have an opportunity. Normally, we do this report during the Bible class hour, and then we have an opportunity to preach during the worship hour, but we've changed a little bit this year, and I am going to be doing the report during the sermon time, and I'm going to be preaching during the sermon time. So that means the first hour is the report, and the last hour and a half will be the sermon this morning. So I am not I am not at fault this morning. This is not how I planned it. The elders asked me to do this, so therefore I think we should be out of here. My plane is out of here at 4, so I'm going to definitely need to be done before then so I can catch my plane out this afternoon. It's a privilege to be here. I bring you greetings also from the Benitez family, from Byron, Snashana, and the boys. They send their greetings as we're worshiping this morning. They're worshiping there in the Linda Vista congregation in Linda Vista, Villanueva, Guatemala. And also, I'm glad to have visiting this morning. I'm visiting, but also my niece, Ashley. And if you haven't met her, please get an opportunity to meet her. She's just moved up to Castro Valley. It is Castro Valley, right? Okay, Castro Valley. So she's not too far from here. So maybe you'll get an opportunity to see her a little bit often around here. But I'm glad if you haven't met Ashley, please do that this morning. We're going to go on a missionary journey, and the missionary journey is going to be to Guatemala. And you're going to kind of see how you have been a part of the Lord's work there in Guatemala. And I'm going to share with you some of the things that's taken place there, and how you can pray. Some of the things you can be praying for. I'm also going to share with you some opportunities, as I always do when I'm here, that where you can come to Guatemala and be a part of the work. You've been before. Several of you have been before, and I was just teasing with Angela earlier, we just can't get you to come back, okay? We are waiting for you to come back, and so you're going to have opportunities this morning to see several things going on in Guatemala, and you're going to have opportunities to see how you can come and be a part of the work. And so what I'm going to do, what I normally do, is I normally ask, for a show of hands of how many of you will come to Guatemala. And when I don't get volunteers, that just adds 10 minutes on to the lesson at the end. And so I'm looking for any way I can to preach a long time. And so that way, if you don't volunteer, and don't try to fool me, okay? Don't raise your hand just so we can cut the lesson short this morning, because if you raise your hand and say you're coming, you're going to be coming if I have to come up here and get you, okay? So let's go to Guatemala via PowerPoint. You can see how the Lord has blessed the work there and kind of show you where Guatemala is located. And that's the very first country as you come into Central America. And country right now, about 17 million people. About 5 million of those people actually live in the capital city. And so a lot of work. Right now we have probably about 180 or so congregations of the Lord's Church there in Guatemala. Most of them are small. Most of them do not have elders, but yet doing the Lord's work. Linda Vista is where those of you who've been, you remember the family there at Linda Vista, and they send their greetings to you. This is Brother Walter Dadon. Brother Walter is our full-time minister, and he and his wife, Noelis, are both graduates of our preacher school there, and that's them pictured with their school. And we're proud of a step that Linda Vista has taken, and I think I might have told you this last time, and this is after several years of working there. Linda Vista finally got to a point of where they hired their own full-time minister. And that's Brother Walter, and not just hired their own full-time ministers, which a lot of congregations in Guatemala have full-time ministers, but a lot of them are paid by the United States. And so, but Linda Vista hired Brother Walter, and the congregation at Linda Vista pays him full-time. And so that was a major milestone for us. And you have been back worshiping together for a long time. Okay, we haven't. We've barely been back together for a year. Okay, and so that we were out for a long time with the COVID online and doing all the stuff like that. But we were really excited. We were able to come back together as one congregation just in June of last year. And it was just in time for our team that was coming in June. We had a team that wanted to come in June, but we were not back together as far as one whole congregation. But you know what we did? We just walked out on faith and we said, come down, because we're hoping the government will change. And guess what? Just a week or two before they arrived, the government changed the rules. And so we were able to be back together as one congregation and have the team. And so COVID was rough on us, and we're still suffering some from a lot of the consequences, especially of not being together for so long. Brother Walter there preaching. There's Brother Byron leading singing. That's just kind of what we see on a daily basis. But keep the family in your prayers at Linda Vista. A lot of you have prayed and even sent us messages concerning the Ramirez family. You remember Brother Neval, one of our faithful co-workers, passed away in 2021. And you guys here in the States, you've been very kind to that family, and they're all doing well. That's his widow, Sister Damaris, and his three daughters. All three girls are now Christians, and in fact, two of them, one of them just finished the university, and the other one is in the university, and Stephanie, Lord willing, will be going into the university this year. But then the Ramirez family, they send their greetings to you, and ask you to please continue to keep them in your prayers. I told you about the team that came in June of last year, but we also went ahead and decided to have a lectureship. And so we normally have a lectureship every year, and it's normally in March. And so we had one June the 18th and 19th, also with the team that was present. And they were there on June the 16th through the 25th. I'm going to kind of go through some of these slides fast, so you need to just really pay a close attention, okay? And so the team came to us from the Linda Road congregation out of Meridian, Idaho, and we also had some speakers that came to us one from Costa Rica and one from Panama, and so we combined the two, the lectureship and the team being there to work, and we weren't for sure how the lectureship would be attended, and the reason was because it was the first real in-house gathering of everybody coming together, and you can see this picture was taken just a few minutes after 9 on the Saturday morning, and Guatemalans, we have a tendency of being late for things, okay? But this is just a few minutes after 9. It started at 9 o'clock, and you can see the attendance. So the attendance only grew throughout today, so the Lord blessed us. We had 4 very good speakers. As I told you earlier, one from Costa Rica, one from Panama. We had Brother Cliff Sabro, and he's from down at Visalia, and we also had Brother Clint from Linda Road. Brother Neval, I mentioned him earlier, his family. This was the first time since his death in 2021 that we had an opportunity to actually celebrate his life. Because when he passed away in 2021, we were under the COVID rules, and the government will only allow 10 people to attend his service. And thankfully, the family allowed Byron and myself to be 2 of those 10. And but this was one time we took time out at the lectureship and celebrate his life and presented some things to the family. And so but we're just thankful. We miss him, but we're thankful for the life that he lived. We had a bilingual worship service on Sunday morning. You can see some of the men waiting on the table. Ladies, when you come to visit with us, you'll have an opportunity to use your talents. We had some very, very good classes taught by the ladies during the time of the lectureship and also during the time of our Wednesday night Bible study. Ladies of the congregation, we appreciate them very much because they stepped in and fed everybody for the lectureship on Saturday, lunch and dinner, and then on Sunday, also dinner. So God was very good to us. And then they got involved in a project. And when you come to visit with us, you'll do a project. And that the lectureship ended on Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, they worked in the home of Brother Wilder Adonius. Brother Wilder is our latest instructor at our preacher school. And he's moved back into a home that he hadn't lived in for about 11 years. And this team came and did work. You can see we do things a little differently there. You can see the men are holding the ladder. and the guy is up on the ladder. And so there it is. That's a better shot of it. Now, I don't mean to be bragging or anything like that, but the smartest person in that picture is me, okay? Because I am standing over there. What you just don't get close to men working on electricity and men holding the ladder with their hand. And so you need someone standing by to call 911. And so I stood in the corner just in case they fell. I was going to be calling 911 to get help. And then here's Tina, no lights. They were trying to get some electricity in the house, and so she's working with a light on her head. This here is Sister Marlene. She's the lady of the home, and so just some pictures of the team and some of the work that they did a super job. They really remodeled this home for them where they would have a decent place to live. And then after that, they actually did some work at the church building. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday worked in his home, and then on Thursday did some work at the church building, and we appreciate so much the work that they did. Going back to Brother Wilder's home, this is just kind of how it looked at first. They had one door, and this was the door that they had. The rest of the home was pretty much open. And so I'm gonna just these next few pictures will just show you some after and some before and after. This is how it looked at first. This is how the home looks now. And so they did a real good job there. And no doors, no windows on the inside. They have doors, windows, and stuff like that at this time. This is before some of the painting started, and this is after a lot of painting had taken place, and the work is continuing there. Now they have some furniture. The church at Linda Road was very good to them by helping them with furniture, also helping them put doors and windows and things like that in their homes. And so this here, you can see still no doors, no windows. Now doors and windows. And then they have three children, and the two girls, they share the same bedroom, and then the son has his bedroom, and they were able to pick their color of what they want their room to be. Okay, and this green is what the son picked. Okay, I am sure beyond a shadow of a doubt that he doesn't do drugs. I'm sure of that. But you get the same effect in this room. Okay, after you've been in this room for about 5 or 10 minutes, whatever drugs would do to you, this color would also do it to you as well. We don't know why he chose it, but that's what he chose, and that's what we put. The girls they picked like a purple, and so. But then again, the work that was done there, we appreciate so much, and Brother Wilder and his family, they appreciate it as well. As far as a July team, last year we did not have a July team. And like I say, we were just getting started back again. And so this year we will have a July team, and they're coming July the 6th through the 15th. July the 6th through the 15th of 2023. How many of you will come on the July team, July the 6th through the 15th? Okay, that's point 3 and 4. No problem. Just hang in there. Hang in there. All righty. We have English teams that come and teach each year, and we were a few years without any of those teams. This year we were blessed. Well, last year we were blessed to have a team come in August, and they were there for the full month. Two teams. Team 1, August the 6th through the 20th. Team 2, August the 20th through the September the 3rd. This is a picture of our teams. Normally we like to have 6 teachers on each team, and so this they started off here with 6 teachers, and so you come to Guatemala. You're there for 2 weeks. Most of you have heard this before. You get an opportunity to sit down one-on-one with students, and actually you're teaching them English, but you're teaching them through the scheme of redemption. And so you're actually teaching them the gospel. And we've had several converts from this. In fact, the treasurer now at the Linda Vista congregation is actually a former student with the WEI. And so now he was converted, and now he's the treasurer there at Linda Vista. And this past year, we still have several students. We still have a lot of people in Guatemala that wear the mask. We have a lot of people that wear gloves and stuff like that still. And but then we have a lot of students that would not come and actually sit in front of a teacher, but they wanted a class. And so we ask our teachers, we didn't force them to do this because we did not want them to fly all the way to Guatemala and teach online because they can do that here in the States. But each one of our teachers graciously volunteered to take one student at least online. And you can see Sister Candy there teaching one of her students online. And so we're hoping this year when they come back, all of our students will actually be in person. But again, you come, you stay in a very nice hotel. You're there for 2 weeks. Your schedule, you normally have 7 students a day, and you normally have from 9 to 12, you have 3 students, 12 to 3, you take a lunch break, and then 3 to 7, you have 4 more students. And so that's 2 weeks, and you'll enjoy your time if you could come and be a part of the English classes. And so here's Sister Candy's teaching. Our second team, they originally had 5 teachers, but just a week before the team was planning to arrive, one of the teachers got sick from Oklahoma and was not able to come, so we ended up with 4 teachers on that team. We also have Brother Blaine and Sister Terry Anderson. They come from time to time to teach English, and they were there in November and December teaching English, and so they followed up on the students that the August team had left, and so they did a super job there. 2023, we have 2 teams coming. The first team will be August the 5th through the 19th. The second team will be August the 19th through September the 2nd. Okay, I'm about to get 20 minutes out of this one because I'm going to break it up into 2 parts. Okay, I'm not gonna ask how many of you will come on a team. Okay, that only gives me 10 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna ask how many of you will come on team 1. That's 10. How many of you will come on team 2? That's another 10. Okay, no problem. You okay? All righty. ITL. ITL is the preacher school. Seriously, all these dates I'm throwing out to you, this will be taking place. And so if you can come, shoot us an email. We'll put you in touch with the people who plan, who coordinates the programs and all. But seriously, we'd love to see you come. ITL is a preacher school where we work on a full-time basis, and so we're blessed to have 2 programs. And whenever you came into the lobby back there, there's a table with some little coin purses, bookmarks, and stuff like that, and also some brochures concerning the work. So please, all the coin purses, the bookmarks, the pens, all free of charge. There's some brochures about the work, and so please take those items. But then we have 2 programs of study, one on Saturday, and we have one that's full-time. And our full-time program, we're connected with the Bear Valley Bible International out of Denver. We're an extension school with Bear Valley. And so we recently added a couple of staff members, and this Brother Hedson is one of them. Brother Hedson actually took Brother Neval's place, and but then he also works as our Director of Development. And my job, a lot of my job is to travel in the States raising funds, and his job mainly, he's teaching in the school, but he also travels Central America and getting students. And Brother Wilder just joined the staff. You saw him earlier in his home, and he was at the work in San Cristobal. He's a graduate of our first class, and then they moved to San Cristobal in 2011, started to work there, and so he's been with that congregation since then. And when he moved to take the work at the school, the Alfonso Mo family, Brother Alfonso and his wife, Sister Evelyn, they moved from the capital city to San Cristobal, about 4.5 hours away, and they're doing a work there. So here are the 5 full-time staff members with the school. We have a full-time secretary, and we have a full-time cook. Our secretary, Erica Reese, she's a member of the church, Sister Erica. Our full-time cook is not a member of the church, and that's Juana. And Juana is a member of a big Pentecostal denominational church, but then she has to attend chapel every day. Okay, and our last cook, the cook before Doña Juana, she actually attended chapel every day, and then we got an opportunity to study the Bible with her, and now she and her family are all faithful members of the Lord's church. And so we're proud of that. Doña Juana, a little different story. Okay, they've been working on her. We've been working on her. So please keep Juana in your prayers. Our Saturday program is going well. We were finally able to start it up after COVID. Our students wanted to actually do it during the COVID time, and they wanted to do it online. And so the staff members, we agreed to go ahead and do it online. But then a lot of times, a lot of our students actually pay to be online per minute. Okay, they don't have the blessing that you have in the States of where they just have internet anytime they want it. So we tried the online thing, but it was too expensive, and so they were not able to do it. So we had to stop the Saturday program. Of course, the full time program we completely had to close it down during the time of COVID, and then but then we're back up and going now. That's Brother Walter, and it's only been this picture here was taken about maybe 5 or 6 months ago, but it's only been about 3 months or so since the mask is not mandatory. Okay, but then they still a lot of our students will still wear it and all, but then it's not mandatory in the school, nor is the social distancing, but yet a lot of that is still practiced. And so these are some of our Saturday students. Brother Francisco, to the far right, he's also one of our graduates, and he works in Santa Cruz, and he comes in every so many quarters and actually teach in our Saturday program. Now, our full-time program, another story. I want everybody to do this. Everybody do this. Do this. I said do this. Okay, I'm preaching. I'm in charge, okay? Everybody do this. Okay. This is how it has been. It has literally been a roller coaster ride. And once we tried to start up after COVID, we started up with we had 8 students that were scheduled. Our maximum is 10, and then it narrowed down because we couldn't get some of the COVID restrictions lifted in time to get students there from other countries. So we started off with 3 students from Guatemala, and then that was going well. Our minimum that we'll take is 2 students, okay? But then our youngest student, the one to the far left, Brother David, ended up having an affair with the secretary, okay? And so we ended up having to fire the secretary, and we ended up having, this is not the secretary that you saw earlier, Sister Erica's new, and then we, of course, ended up having to dismiss Brother David. We normally don't run the school with 2 students, and so we got beating the bushes, and we got another student from Guatemala. We got 2 students from Nicaragua. So now we had 5 students. Things were going well. Okay, the 2 students from Nicaragua, they went back to Nicaragua, and the guy got sick, and they were not able to come back. And after he got sick and they weren't able to come back, Brother Daniel in the center, he is from Guatemala. He decided it wasn't the program that he wanted to study in, so he left. You remember this? That's how it's been. So we were down to 2 students. So then we decided, no, what we're going to do is we're going to take a break, try to revamp, start over all over again. And so this time we started over, and we had 3 students, 3 students. Okay, 2 from Panama and 1 from, I'm sorry, 2 from Costa Rica and 1 from Panama. How many students do you see? Okay, how many students did I say? Okay, 1 student didn't even stay around long enough to get his picture taken. Okay, yeah, he decided the program. He actually wanted his own living quarters, and he wanted his own cook and all the stuff like that. And it's kind of like we don't offer that, so he didn't stay. And so then we ended up having Brother David and Brother San Diego, and ended up Brother David, Brother Daniel, and Brother Daniel, the one to the right without the sweater on, from Panama, decided that he could not abide by any of the rules of the school. So ended up we actually had to dismiss him, and after he was dismissed, we were left with 1 student. We decided we're going to go ahead and get this student through because he had been through so much, and so we ended up having him. And then after we had him, we had another couple join him from Honduras, and they were there, and they were actually there for about 3 weeks. They really stayed a long time, okay? And just all of a sudden on a Friday night, the wife decided, because the wife has to study as well, because the family is supported full time, decided she didn't want to study anymore. So when she decided she didn't want to study, the husband said, "We're not going to study." So they made that decision on a Friday night, and then on a Saturday morning, we were back down to one student again. Then we got two more students. Yeah, we got two more, and they're both from different sides of the country of Panama. And you can see Brother Diego in the middle, still with us from Costa Rica. And so, three students. Are you tired? We are, and we ask that you pray for the school. Okay, we have a whopping two students. Brother Diego, who's gone through all of this, ended up getting sick, really bad sick. And he decided that he could not stay and study. And so we have the two students from Panama that are studying right now. I got a message this morning. They're still there. Okay, so I can tell you at this right now at 11, whatever it is, they're still there. Okay, if I continue this after my sermon, I'll give you an update. Okay, of whether or not they're still there. We're our short course teachers. Those are the teachers that come from the states to teach in the program. They were doing it online, and so but we're thankful that they're back actually in person right now. That's Brother Lyndall Mitchell from Livingston, Texas. And Brother Benny, one of our instructors, is translating for him. We also have Brother Neddy Arias, and he is from the country of Honduras, and he comes and teaches in the program. So we're back in line as far as having our short course teachers come and actually be with us in person. But our students, we are still having a dilemma there. And so please keep us in your prayers as we work through that. Brother Diego still was able to go on campaign, so we tried to just make things as pleasant as we could for him when he was the only student, and he was able to go out and visit shut-ins and set up Bible studies and stuff like that. And but then we ask that you pray for us. Please pray for us. These are the funds we need to run the school on a full-time basis, and that's if we have, of course, our 10 students. And some of you have adopted a student, and you can still do that, and that's $50 a month, and that information is in the brochure out there. But then please keep us in your prayers with the school. Future Preachers Camp. We did have a Future Preachers Camp 2022. We had a full-time camp. We've been doing it. We had to do it online for a while. And then we had Brother Hedison, Brother Benny, and Brother Walter actually directed the camp. And Ripon, thank you so much for actually sending funds to help with the camp. We appreciate that. Byron and I, we were out of the country at that time, traveling, visiting supporters. But these three brethren, they stepped up to the plate and actually did a super job. It's a camp for a week long, starts on a Sunday, ends on a Sunday, and they're working with the guys. The guys ages 12 to 21. The goal is to have 50 campers, and so this year this was the first full-time camp since COVID, and they had 27. And so we appreciate the work that was done on the camp. The last Sunday is what they call graduation Sunday, and that's when some of the parents will come, because two of the campers who are already Christians will have an opportunity to speak. And so they had a little bit over 200 in attendance there for that worship service that last Sunday. And so, again, we appreciate so much the work that Brother Benny, Brother Walter, and Brother Hedson did with the camp. And you can just see some of the pictures of the certificates and all. And so, and then this year, now we're coming to the end of the report. This year, we actually had our ITL graduation and lectureship, and that was just back in the month of March. And we didn't have any full-time students to graduate, but we had 4 to graduate from our Saturday program. So we decided to give them the full honors of what the graduation would be if we had even both the full-time and the Saturday program. So these are the 4 students that are graduating. This is our banquet that we started with on Thursday night, and so they did a real good job for the 3 years that they studied. Some of them studied 5 years because of their work schedules. We had good speakers. These are some of the speakers for our ladies, and we had speakers for the men. This was combined again with with the lectureship. Brother Bob Turner, Brother Ralph Gilmore, Brother Kerry Williams were there to actually speak at the lectureship. And so then we had our graduation, and that was very well attended. And so you can see some of the festivities there. And so one of the distinguished students speaking at the graduation and being translated, because we had a bunch of English speakers there for the campaign and for the graduation and for the lectureship. And so this brother Chuck from Tupelo, Mississippi, and actually doing our elders charge. And then they had a big cake and all the stuff like that toward the end of the graduation. So we appreciate that. Our ladies, an appreciation lunch for them, and we appreciated just the work that they did for the lectureship and for the congregation. Mission team, this is us, and we, as I told you at the beginning, send greetings from bring greetings from the Benitez family. And have y'all actually met the boys yet? Has Byron been here with the boys? Okay. Well, hopefully they'll have an opportunity one of these days to actually come here, and you'll get an opportunity to meet Jose and Alex. They're I know I have my niece here today, but they're my favorite nephews. Okay, they're my favorite nephews, and if they were girls, they'd be my favorite nieces. But since they're boys, you got it made, Ashley. You still rank in the group. But Jose and Alex, Alex is now 11. I mean, Jose is 11, and Alex is 9, going on 40. And so, but I can't wait till you get an opportunity to meet them. Just this year, they were able to actually go back to school. They've been studying online all this time, and so the Lord blessed the country to be able to open up and all. We had an opportunity this past year to actually travel back to Germany, and we go there and work with the retreat. We work with the youth portion of it, and so we were honored to be able to. The numbers were down this year, but yet we had a good group to work with, and so the Lord blessed us there. We were also able to visit with the church in Serbia, and we were planning on just visiting the church in Serbia, passing through. We were on our way to Greece, in fact, and but then we found out they were having some problems, and they were having some problems with the role of women in the church, and they knew we were preachers, and so they started asking us questions. In about 3 or 4 hours, we were still there, and so please pray for the church in Serbia as they work through a lot of problems there. Prayer requests, and we ask that you pray for the Gomez family. These are some people that Byron met when he was in the hospital and was able to set up. She was his respiratory therapist and was able to set up a study with them. Somewhere along the line, they have been burnt by religion. And they had made a statement to Byron, and they told him at the beginning of the study that we're never going to go back to a church building again. Okay? And so, but he got to studying with them, and he studied with them with the plan of salvation. And just 2 weeks ago, one of the ladies in this picture here sent him a picture, and she says, "Guess where I am?" And they were visiting with the Church of Christ in Zone 8. So please keep this family in your prayers. We're hoping that they'll become Christians. This is a Ricardo. Keep him in your prayers. Dulce is Brother Neval's oldest daughter, and she is dating this young man, Ricardo, or Ricky in English, and he is not a Christian. His family, they're Catholic, but not strong Catholic. But then we're studying with him, and just a couple of weeks ago, actually studied the plan of salvation. So please keep him in your prayers. He's making a decision right now, and Dulce, Neval's daughter, she knows she can't go any further with him if he doesn't become a Christian. And so please keep Ricardo in your prayers. Also, as I mentioned earlier, our full-time class, please keep ITL in your prayers, and please keep the work in Alto Verde Paz in your prayers as well. This is Alto Verde Paz. We just made some help with some congregations there that the school started, and so now they're been consolidated. And so please keep that work in your prayers. Keep this young man in your prayers as well. He's come up missing again, and so he's Elmar, and he's not. he pops in and leaves, but his family doesn't know where he is right now. And so, but then please keep him in your prayers. Several have come to Christ. Dulce is one of them. Yamalet. Yamalet is actually Walter's oldest daughter, and so he had the opportunity a few Sundays ago to baptize her into Christ. Sister Dora, now Sister Dora, baptized into Christ as well. And so, and we've started just about 3 weeks ago. We started the new converts class again, and we have 11 people in that class, and so that class is going well. So don't have a picture of that class, but that's where we've been. That's where you've been now for the last few minutes as we've gone to Guatemala to see the work. And I just ask you to pray for the family. Pray for your family, your extended family there in Guatemala. We pray for you, but we solicit your prayers. We're going through a lot of things that you're going through here. Right now, we're going through election time. Yeah, we're going through election time. In fact, on the 25th of this month, we will have our election for all of the major offices. Okay, and one of those offices will be the president. And right now, I think we have 31 people running for president. And what we will do is we'll have an election on the 25th of June, and then we'll narrow it down from the 31 that's running down to 2. And then we'll have another election in October. And one of those 2 will be chosen to be the president of Guatemala. And will be chosen for the president of Guatemala for the next 4 years. They cannot do but one term. But here's how the people of Guatemala look at it. Whenever you talk to a lot of people, especially those in the church, when you talk to a lot of people about the election, here's what they say. Talk about the president's election. You know what we have running for president? They say, we have 31 crooks. And what we're going to do on June the 25th is we're going to narrow it down to 2 crooks. Yeah. And then one crook will win. And we'll have that one crook for 4 years. And then after 4 years over, you know what we're going to have again? We're going to have another election, and what are we going to vote for? Some more crooks. And I thought, they haven't fallen for the trick. We're at a time right now where everybody is promising us everything under the sun. Church, one of the things we need to learn is, I'm not saying all, most of them are crooks. Most of them are not going to do what they say they're going to do. We got people right now that's telling us, no, you gotta choose this side, you gotta choose that side. I know what's best, I know what's best. He's a liar, he's a liar. You know, a lot of them, you know how you can tell if they're lying? If their lips are moving. They're lying. And that's a lot of times on both sides here. What I want to encourage you to do as we close this morning is I want to encourage you not to get involved in all of that stuff. I'm seeing that stuff split churches. I'm seeing that stuff split brotherhood. You know why? Because all of a sudden it becomes more important if you're a Democrat or if you're a Republican than it is if you're a Christian. Jesus did not leave heaven and come to earth so you can be a Democrat, nor so you could be a Republican, but so you could be a Christian. Numbers. Can I just share one verse with you? Okay, I'll just share one, and then if I think of another, I'll share that one too. Numbers. Go with me to Numbers chapter 23. Numbers chapter 23. And the verse is 19. Numbers chapter 23, verse 19. Here's what it says here. It says, God is not a man that he should what? Lie. Nor the son of a man that he should repent. Has he said, and will he not do it? Or has he spoken, and will he not make it good? This morning, church, place your trust and your confidence in God. Not in the Republicans, not in the Democrats, in God. You know why? Because God is not a man that he should lie, nor the son of a man that he should repent. Has he not said something, and will he not do it? Or has he not spoken, and will he not make it good? The world's going to do what the world's going to do. But we, as God's people, we've got to do what God has called on us to do. And that's to serve Him. And serve Him only. The government can do whatever they want to do. The government can make any laws they want to make. The government can change anytime they want to change. This doesn't. You know why? Because God is not a man. And when He says something, He's going to do it. When He tells us something, He expects us to do it. We're going to sing an invitation song this morning as we close out. And this is not just a custom. This is not just a way to end the lesson. This is, maybe there's someone in this audience who have a need this morning. Maybe there's someone that's not a Christian. Maybe there's someone that you've gotten all wrapped up in all of this junk that's going on around you. Maybe there's someone this morning that needs the prayers of the church. Depend on God. Depend on God. There's never been a time where it's more important that you depend on God. If anybody needs to come, if you're not a Christian and you need to be baptized this morning, it's time. You can do that. Come believing that He is, Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6. Come and repent of your sins, Acts chapter 2, verse 38. Come and make that sweet confession as you believe that Jesus Christ is God's Son. For with the heart man believes unto righteousness, but with the mouth confession is made unto salvation. Romans chapter 10, verse 9 and 10. And come and be buried with Him in the watery grave of baptism. And you know what? When you're buried with Him in the watery grave of baptism, you're going to come up out of the water, and you're nothing else but a brand new Christian. A Christian. Maybe you've done that and you've not been faithful. Invitations for you as well. Any way we can serve, any way we can serve you, we invite you to come as together we stand to sing the invitation.